And welcome into our official Money in the Bank 2024 review. I believe is this the first pay-per-view we're doing right after, right?
Yep.
We didn't do
Mm-hmm.
the last show. We didn't do Clash at the
Mm-mm.
Castle.
It's the
No.
first. Make sure
This is the
everybody see
first.
my
I did
bloodline
one.
shirt.
Yeah, yes, sir. We the ones. I went with a green shirt with the yellow lights, fit the Money in the Bank theme.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man, we had a pretty solid night of wrestling. Another
Mm-hmm.
5 match card. That's 3 hours. It's how Papa HB cooking these shows up. But
100%.
before we hop into these matches, I want to start kind of with the discussion of some people were pretty critical of the booking decisions made tonight, and not just with the Money in the Bank with Drew McIntyre, but with Sammy getting a clean win over Braun, and some people wanted Chelsea to win.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were some other interesting moments in the World Heavyweight title match that we could get
Yep.
to.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie to you. None of those bothered me. The
Mm-hmm.
only booking decision that I didn't agree with was main eventing the show with the tag match if nobody was coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I was just like, why was this last then? If
Yeah.
we're not getting Jimmy Uso or Roman, why is this going on after the World Heavyweight title match
Mm-hmm.
when there's a
Yeah.
title on the line?
Yeah, they gave us a switcheroo because I think when we last did our journal on Monday, our podcast on Monday, I think they came out and said that the World Heavyweight Championship was going to be the last one, and that's what I saw. Unless it was like a fake report or a
I
fake
think it
what you
was
call
just
it.
reports. It was more so
Yeah,
rumors than confirmation, but it would make sense. It's the only title being defended,
yeah,
or the main
yeah.
title, I should say, like because Cody was not defending his.
Nope.
I want to talk about the Drew cash-in as
Mm-hmm.
there's potentially fireworks going off in the background. If you hear that, that's me. Hey, it's not your house.
Still, still.
They're all weekends out here,
Oh my
all
gosh.
weekend on the Northeast.
Oh
But
man.
people were saying that Drew McIntyre winning and failing to cash in tonight
Mm-hmm.
was a waste of the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
And here's my thoughts on this. It was a lost cash in very
Mm-hmm.
quickly,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not a waste because it further progressed the storyline. And everybody was just going online. Well, why didn't CM Punk just cost him the Money in the Bank? Why didn't he do that? Well, one, CM Punk maybe didn't know he was going to win. But
Mm-hmm.
two, you know what is a bigger fuck you to Drew McIntyre than costing him the Money in the Bank? Letting him win, compete in that ladder match, and then waste the cash in. Because
Mm-hmm.
Punk let him cash in. He didn't stop him from cashing in. Oh, you
Mm-mm.
can cash that shit in,
Mm.
but you ain't going nowhere with it.
Yep.
And I I almost think if Punk didn't do that,
Mm-hmm.
now we're being inconsistent with the storyline.
Yeah.
And to anybody who says that this is not how it should have gone, my follow up is okay, how would you have booked it differently that it's not a waste?
Right.
Chad Gable wins and then wins at SummerSlam immediately to drop it to Gunther a month later as a transitional champ. That's about just as much of a waste as this is. Andrade, he wasn't winning it. Carmelo, too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Jey Uso, I think we all know where that's going. He is going to be
Mm-hmm.
in bloodline stuff, so maybe it's not a waste of a briefcase, but then you're putting a title hostage for
Mm-hmm.
months because he's going to be in a feud. And LA Knight's about to go feud with LA Knight, so a waste of, or LA Knight's about to go feud with Logan Paul, so waste of a briefcase. He'd probably cash in on the U.S. title. There just wasn't a good spot for a men's winner this year.
I,
Cody's going to hold the title, and then Gunther is. This was the correct usage of the briefcase.
and you pretty much I mean I got much to add to it. You hit it right on the head. Like I think what the outrage for people is people don't understand. Like it doesn't matter who wins the title. It was going to be a failed cash in no matter who wins it. No matter the sixes. You're not taking the title off of Cody at all unless you're either Roman.
But
You
even if
know.
you did it, then it's a transitional reign because we talked
Yeah.
about, oh, what if Carmelo like cashed in on Cody on a SmackDown before the Royal Rumble, won, but then Cody wins the title back at the Rumble. That way he can go into WrestleMania. So again, is it a waste? No, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's not
I mean, yeah.
ideal.
I mean, all the six competitors today was going to result in a failed cash in.
Yeah.
I just don't see. Maybe the only person that I can see that wouldn't be a failed cash in would be Chad Gable because he would cash in on Sami Zayn.
But you know what wouldn't make sense then was if Chad Gable was to win and then go to cash in, why would the Wyatts not cost him? Because then
Yeah,
they're just going to cost him the same way that Punk did True.
yeah,
So in the men's match, and maybe you could argue that this is WB booking themselves into a corner, but I wouldn't have it another way. I
yeah.
wouldn't not give Gunther the title just so it seems like there's a nice
Nah,
cash in. And Gunther won King of the Ring, which is much more suited to his character.
yeah. It's it was. To be honest with you, we wasn't for this men's. It was in a lose situation. It was nothing that like you said when Triple H first got the pin, he was in a loser situation with Austin Theory. You know how
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So it's like he already said he don't like it like the Money in the Bank stuff. He already said that, or you know that was speculated or whatever he said, whatever. He don't really like it like that.
The
So
Money in the Bank makes too much money
it
in the
makes sense. So he
bank.
can't get. So yeah, so he can't get rid of it. So it's already. And then you know what I'm saying. Here's what I gotta say to people that's that's watching us, just complaining on Twitter. Y'all
Mhm.
complained all last year about the Damian Priest one. Oh, it's
Yeah.
too long. When he's gonna do it? Oh, whoa, whoa.
And not for nothing, there's a second briefcase. It's not
Yeah,
like the briefcase is off your TV. Watch SmackDown, watch Tiffy Time with her briefcase, and now you have a Money in the Bank storyline.
yeah.
Again, the biggest thing for me, and maybe this is where I'm different from other people,
Mm-hmm.
is logically, does it make sense? Logically, Drew McIntyre wants to be in that match because he got screwed out of the World Heavyweight title.
Yep.
Makes sense. Drew McIntyre wins because he's really freaking good.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, just like he said he would, cashes in immediately. Makes sense.
Right.
CM Punk said Drew McIntyre will not win the world title on my watch. Checked.
Makes sense.
Every box was checked. Whether you can complain about it tonight, but when we get to SummerSlam and Bash at Berlin and Bad Blood, and we get these Drew and CM Punk matches, and you're so invested because CM Punk continued to screw this guy.
Yeah.
This was part of it.
And on top of that this feud don't need a title. It don't need a title, and it don't need Drew holding the Money in the Bank around during this feud. It just don't make no sense. And like I said, like you can make cases for a lot of people, but still in all, it don't make no sense. Yes, it can make sense as far as like the Phil Cash and be more intrigued and whatnot, but I feel like this is the best possible way to be more intrigued. Yes, you can do the Jey Uso thing and be intrigued at the bloodline costing the thing. Yes, you can do the LA Knight of Logan Paul, but that don't make no sense. Why would Logan Paul, it don't make no sense for that. It don't.
Yeah, because
It don't.
I gotta be honest, I'd be more mad if LA Knight had won and then cashed in on the US title. I'd be like, why? Like, why would you do
that?
that?
No sense. Like I said, the only way where I could be like, okay, cool. The only other person other than Drew to win the match was Chad Gable, in my opinion, because Chad Gable wasn't going to do. He said it, but I know for sure how the story is. Even if Wyatt 6 not involved, even Wyatt 6 just haunt him after that. He was going to cash in on Sammy. He wasn't going to do it in the World He's going to be on Sammy.
But again, another mid-card title. Which,
which people going to complain about.
That. I would complain about that because that's like you are handed a winning lottery ticket and you're like, I'll take less.
Yeah. So
what?
So Drew was the only person to win that and do everything he said.
And listen, you could have given it to Jey Uso and had him hold it for a long time and had him say, I'm cashing in on Gunther at WrestleMania 41 and like just announce the cash in. Like you could have, but I don't have any issue with what happened tonight because it all makes sense.
Yeah. And you can fluctuate it. You can fluctuate
it. Like again, Tiffany Stratton has a briefcase. I want to talk about the match though itself. The men's Money in the Bank opened the show. I thought this was the right call. If wasn't going to main event the show, it should open the show. We had Jey Uso, another fantastic entrance coming out the crowd. Andrade, no reaction. Felt bad for him. Got a ton of reaction in the match though, so good for him there. LA Knight in this match. We had, of course, Chad Gable in the match, Carmelo Hayes, and Drew McIntyre. I thought Andrade, Gable, and Carmelo Hayes from an in-ring, and so
the match.
That's my thing. Some people are complaining about this because the Money in the Bank is supposed to be used to build new stars. those three looked the best in the match. And the other three are already established. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade had two of the best spots of the night. That reverse Spanish fly that was
that
like
was nice.
3 minutes into the
That
match.
was nice.
I was like, holy shit.
And the thing about what you were saying is they did build new stars. They built those 3 new stars. Well, not 3 new stars, but 3 upcoming stars. That now Andrade don't get that reaction now because they know what he can do. It's just the fact that Andrade used to have a reaction just that he was gone for 3 years.
I think he needs to be a heel, personally.
100%.
I wouldn't hate it if they lined him with Charlotte. I know they're together in real life, but you want to give him some credibility.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah. So
that'd be perfect.
I would like that. Carmelo, he was excellent. I didn't know he was from Boston. When he came out and they said from Boston and he's like him, I was like, man, if Sasha Banks could be back in WWE, talk about a pairing right there.
Yeah. Even though she got booed last time because she was from Boston. I forgot where they was at. Oh, New York. They was in New York.
Yeah. They were in Long Island for the AEW Forbidden Door show. But that power bomb from Andrade to Carmelo, sweet spot there. Really enjoyed that. I thought for a second at the end of that match, Jey Uso was going to win, and then Drew like lawn darts the ladder out of him.
Also, on top of that, I thought when Chad before that, I thought Chad was going to get. I thought Wyatt Six going to come out because Chad was up by himself and he went and the way they had the camera angle. When he was getting, they about to come.
And then Jay like pulls the ladder out and it was Jeff Hardy Edge WrestleMania-esque. I thought Jay was about to climb that ladder and spear him. Yeah. And then he just lets him hang. And Gable
that was
belly flop. I mean, boom. I'm like,
what a spot.
Damn.
What a
dude,
spot.
He fell from it wasn't the biggest fall of the night, which we will get to, but there's
that was a spot
that hurt. I know for a fact that chest was hurting after landing there.
Yes. And then get up and straight into a spear. Yeah, his whole front side was done after that.
He was cooked. He was cooked. That was his last spot in that match. And then there was a second I thought Jey Uso was going to win. WWE's done a really good job with him, where even though I knew logic booking wise that it didn't really make sense for Jey to win, when I saw him climb the ladder, and I thought maybe, I was like, go get it, Jay. Go get it, Jay.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat for him and Chad. I was on the edge of my seat for those two. I mean, like I said,
I think it's the perfect way to say it. The whole match, I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat because it started off real good. Like you said, the first 3 minutes to spread it, like Carmelo and Andrade went at it the first 3, the first 3 minutes, they went at the Spanish fly thing, then then they started doing their little finishers and whatnot. It was entertaining from start to finish. Like it was no dry spot of the match where you was like, okay, I can relax. I was on the edge of my seat for the whole match where it was just like, okay, it was so many it's like kind of like you have a near fall in the match. It was so many like near grabs of the because Andrade had one and then Chad had one.
A couple of them tonight had ones where they actually unhooked it,
cooked it.
Like
I'm like,
they clicked it, and I kept thinking to myself because all week I've been like watching previous highlight stuff. I'm like, that's risky, man, because you remember Cena was supposed to win, but when he's hitting Big Show with it and the fucking briefcase just breaks when it wasn't supposed to, I'm like, man, that's risky to have Andrade up there doing the fake unhook, because if that shit comes off and now he's Money in the Bank, you're like,
it's kind of like that Otis thing when they did it with Otis, where unhooked it and they was fighting over it when AJ unhooked it and he grabbed it, but they was fighting over it and it fell into his lap like that, kind of something like that. But it's like, but that's usually don't happen like that. So that's why I'm like, the fact that so many competitors, the men and women, got so close to grabbing the briefcase, I don't remember me seeing that really like I said, like a type of near fall type of stuff where they get so close to it and then somebody got to rush in there to go. Because a couple times it was near, like it was real close, like where they got to rush in there because he about to unhook it. Like, just like how that spot with Jay and Chad. That's a similar spot where Jay had to rush in.
Because Chad, I think, had it unhooked. He was hanging from it, that's for sure.
Yes, he had it unhooked, yes.
So certainly interesting. Yeah. Let's move on to the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defeated Braun Breaker. Really solid match. Yes. We both predicted the winner of this match correctly. We both picked Sami Zayn to win. Yes. How did you feel about Sami winning so clean?
Man, I text you and was like, whoa, a clean finish. Because we
Yeah.
both predicted for the last 2 weeks, we both predicted like a veterans roll up, or he
Yeah,
gets too
I
cocky.
thought he was for sure
Yeah, I
going
was
to
right
get
with you
like
with that.
a schoolboy roll up, something of
Yeah,
those sorts.
yeah. And I mean, everything we said was right. Braun got cocky. He was real cocky and whatnot. So
Hmm.
he thought he had the match won, and he was doing push-ups and during pin.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So here he was full Scott Steiner in it up in there, and like I said, I texted you and I was shocked because a clean finish, like his actually doing the finish, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. I was shocked by that. You know what I'm saying? Knew the winner was gonna happen, but I was shocked by the results. I'm not mad at the results. Not saying I'm mad because it was a really good match, but I'm shocked that it wasn't like I got you type of stuff. I outsmarted you win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say mad. I'm slightly disappointed, I
Yeah,
guess is the word it's just not how I would have gone about doing it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not, for me, it takes a lot for a finish for it to be end of the world booking for
yeah.
me to be like, what the hell is going on here? For one, it shows me how high WB is on Sami Zayn. I
Mm-hmm.
think you are potentially looking at the 2025 Royal Rumble winner in Sami
Mm-hmm.
Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have a lot of time to go before then, but they're very high on him. I get it. In Canada, he gets the win. We kind of saw that coming, especially
Yeah,
after what happened in Scotland, where
yeah.
if you were from there, you were getting screwed pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of people I saw are like, well, where do we go from here? I mean, Braun could just beat the shit out of him on Raw and then they'll have another match.
100%.
like
Yeah.
like wins and losses don't matter as much as you
Mm.
think they might.
As it used to be. It used to be It used to matter. It don't matter that much. I don't.
I mean, look at Solo. He goes from 0-40 to tribal chief like that. If you want, how much wins and
Yep.
losses matter. It's
Yep.
just really about presentation, and I don't think anybody on Monday, if we found out Braun attacks Sammy and he wants him again, and Sammy accepts, like nobody's gonna be like, well, he doesn't deserve that. I mean, it'd be a pretty small crowd. But
Nah.
like you said, I thought it was a good match. Um, I thought that Braun might have actually tweaked his knee on that
Mm-hmm.
clothesline over the
That looks
thing.
scary.
He sold it real well if
That
it's
looks
not.
scary.
And I don't think it is messed up because he pressed Zayn over his head twice after that. And I feel like if his knee was really messed up, but so his selling of that injury was very
That dude.
impressive to me.
That
Like
dude's a
I was just
freak.
like, oh, I wasn't familiar with this part of your game. I
Yeah.
just thought you were a bulldozer.
That dude's a freak. He's a genetic freak. So I thought so too. I was texting one of my boys also, and I was like, he's like, man, I think he did something to his ACL, and I'm like, oh God, I hope not. Like,
Yeah.
I hope it's not some serious, but he did mess around with it, shaked it out a couple of times, but yeah, it was
Got,
scary. You know what I'm saying?
got
That's
me
a spot.
checking Twitter right now, making sure no news came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, it was a spot. It's a spot he's been doing for the last. It's a spot he's
Yeah.
been doing for the last
It's
couple
an
of weeks.
interesting move, but like
Yeah,
I I don't want to say I don't like it. I just almost don't like the risk that comes with it
exactly,
for what it is.
exactly.
Because
It's
to
like,
me, it's like a cool display of athleticism, but it doesn't look like it hits hard. It
mm-mm.
like almost looks like it hurts him more than his opponent.
Because
And
he's the way he's doing it, like
yeah,
he's all his momentum is going towards the barricade. So like if
yeah.
he go all that force and he hit the guy, he's smacking the barricade with like you know what I'm saying?
But like he's also going to a table that like the top of it comes off pretty easily. Your foot could get stuck. There's a lot of like technology there. Like
Yeah,
that's why I believed he was hurt. That's what
yeah,
I mean. It's just
yeah,
there's a lot of risk in it, but
yeah.
ultimately Sammy gets the win. I do wish it had protected Braun a little bit
Just a
more,
little bit, just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
especially if we're going in that direction. But I don't know what we're doing with the IC title. And, we
My
might have to
my
talk about a guy like Seth Rollins being in there after the
Yeah,
World Heavyweight
my
title
my
match.
thing is my thing about that is if he did tweak his knee, let's play to it. So now we can have something to sink our teeth in and be like, okay, he could say on Monday, only reason why you beat me because I hurt my knee. You know what I'm saying? Instead of him not saying he no showed it, like no sold it, because I mean he probably is actually hurt, but the fact that it wasn't so much of an effect of the match, it kind of
Hmm.
like you said, a little disappointing because it's like, okay, cool. I beat him clean. Why would I give you no chance if I beat you clean? Instead of just coming on Monday and be like, I beat you, but you
Yeah.
wasn't 100%. You
And
know what I'm
that that
saying? Like
that
that's
that
that's
probably like plays into Braun's character too. I feel like
yeah,
he's not an accountability guy when it comes to a
exactly.
loss.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we had the surprise of the show. John Cena, introduced by Trish Stratus. John Cena comes out, and before he showed off the towel that said
I
like
didn't even pay attention to it.
the last time is now, I was just like, okay, we have some time on the card. Cena was in the area for filming, maybe, because I know a lot of TV shows are filmed in Toronto. Like, fun fact there. Any
Yeah.
like New York City based TV show that you see was likely filmed in Toronto. That's where
Probably, yeah,
Suits
yeah.
was. That's where Suits was filmed. So
Oh,
I
okay,
know that's like
okay.
a big show. But so Cena comes out, and I'm like, all right, is this going to be kind of similar to what it was last year at Money in the Bank, where he was like, London, super cool, WrestleMania, eventually, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw the towel, the last time is now, and I'm like, no. And I am not, I'll admit it. I was like getting a little emotional on the inside. It wasn't on the outside because I knew like that wasn't it. But when he started talking about retiring, man, I was like, my childhood's over.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking old. This sucks. Like that's what I was thinking. And don't get me wrong, like obviously John's kind of been 1.5 feet out the door for a couple of years
100%.
now.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy he's getting one more run. And I'm happy that we waited to film this until after his segment on the presser. I thought he was, after his conversation of my last Royal Rumble, last Elimination Chamber, last WrestleMania, I'm like, okay, he's going to go film. He's going to come back in the Royal Rumble. It's going to be a surprise when it happens because we're going to forget that he said what he said. He's going to lose in the Royal Rumble. Cody's going to give him a shot at the title at Elimination Chamber out of respect. And then at WrestleMania, he's going to wrestle Randy Orton and go off in the sunset. But John confirmed he's wrestling all through 2025. There's like 30 to 40 dates to make sure that everybody could see him one more time. And they haven't announced the location of SummerSlam or Survivor Series for 2025. And I saw this idea on Twitter. I want to run it by you. John Cena doesn't win the Royal Rumble. He competes in the Elimination Chamber and loses and has whatever feud he has at WrestleMania, probably Randy Orton in a non-title match. How would you feel about at SummerSlam next year, John Cena winning World Title 17 and then dropping it at Survivor Series? So he holds it for about 3 months and he gets 17. They give him the record. And then, like all people, he goes out on his sword at Survivor Series to whoever.
I think he deserves it.
I think he deserves it over Flair.
Yeah, I think he deserves. I mean, once again, that's just. Be honest with you, it all depends on him. If that's what he wants, I think that Triple H and all the people that's behind, they'll give it.
Because you have 2 world titles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like when he was previously there and it was like, well, you're going to take the title off Roman. No. But with 2 world titles, you can figure out a way to get this man the title.
I think the match is with Cody. And I think Cody will do the job, but once again, that's all depending on.
I mean, because Cody could do the job at SummerSlam and then win it back at Survivor Series.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like, I agree with that.
I don't know if it's with Cody or with whatever's going on Raw at the time. I mean, we're a year out.
Yeah. He did say he'd be back in December, though. He did say he'd be back this December.
He's going to be back for the Raw Netflix special.
Yeah.
January 1st, whenever that is. But I also wouldn't hate Cena winning the King of the Ring and like getting the guaranteed main event of SummerSlam.
Yes.
Because I don't think he's ever won that, and I think that's just a good name to have at it.
That's a good idea. I think that would be great for him. I think that's how we get to 17. He wins King of the Ring, and that's how we get to 17. I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect. So to be in the feud,
he's great. Always been this way, and he was asked about it at the presser, and somebody was like, "Are you going to go for 17?" And he said, "Listen, I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't had a win in a while." So he's like, "I'm not really in a position to be at the top of the card." So you lose the Rumble, you get close in the Chamber, you beat Randy at WrestleMania. because I don't see like any reason for him not to beat Randy at WrestleMania. It's not like Randy's some like young star that he's got to put over, and that win propels you into the King of the Ring tournament. Obviously, it to me it could feel very U.S. Open challenge where
Mm-hmm.
younger stars, but Cena gets the win. Have him fight guys like Carmelo. Maybe Trick Williams is up at that point. Some younger talent on the roster. Theory again, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
If he's on SmackDown, if he's on Raw, you have guys like Ilya. You could do him in Breaker, whatever the case may be at that time. But some young talent. Cena gets to work with them. We get to see it on TV. He ultimately wins King of the Ring because for a fact Saudi Arabia is paying for John Cena at a fucking show next year.
I think this is what I'm doing. This is me fantasy booking. I think this is what we do. We go Cena Breaker for the finals in Saudi Arabia, and then we go Breaker. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he do, like how he did the same, and then Cena prevails. Roll up.
I would. Well, what we have to see again? A Cena AJ Styles. We got to get another one of those in there.
That'd be great. I feel like that's one of the matches.
I think Cena's going to be on Raw because of Netflix.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll be on both. Maybe he'll get.
He might be a free.
Cena. Maybe he'll get a John Cena contract.
Yeah. Free agent. Just go like that Brock Lesnar contract where he just did both.
Some matches we definitely going to see: Styles, Orton, Cody, Punk. I would like to see Cena Gunther, but I don't know if that's in the cards. But those are ones we got to see. Let's talk about the World Heavyweight title. That match, Priest and Rollins. Let's just hit on it. The botched pin. Here's what I mean. I think Twitter. So this is why I was watching the press conference because I wanted to see what Priest said and.
Right.
It looks like Triple H was asked about it just right now, and his response was, "I moved on from the spot quickly. I hoped Priest was okay. They killed it," and that is generally how I feel about it. I think Priest was knocked out. I don't know if you saw it, but his eyes were shut.
Yes.
And people were saying that they missed the cue for Drew's music. Here's my thing. Okay, so I guess I'll say it to you too then. If Drew's music hits, why the hell is the referee supposed to stop counting? Just because somebody's music plays? Like the referee is still supposed to do his job. I think Priest was supposed to kick out, and it was supposed to be they're both just exhausted thing. I just think Priest was knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
dazed. And you saw at the end of the match, even though he won, he was so dejected. He was so pissed off about it. And I get it. It sucks. It's one of those things that I don't think they're going to address on TV. So I wouldn't keep an eye out for it on Monday Night Raw. I think Seth Rollins is just going to be pissed at CM Punk.
Yep.
They played into that for sure.
Yep.
But I don't think they're going to address it. And you know what? Like Damian Priest, you could argue since WrestleMania has had a better title reign than Cody Rhodes. Shit happens. It's professional wrestling. I think he was knocked out. We'll learn more about it. You probably know more about it now.
Yeah.
But even if he wasn't and he just fucked up, I guess that's open for criticism because you're the world champion on a pay-per-view. You can't really afford to mess up like that. Yeah. But
that's two pay-per-views in a row too.
Well, to be fair, the last one.
Yeah, he got
The last one was the ropes, though. They'd messed up a couple people that night.
Yeah.
Whoever tightened those ropes did not do any favors. But Damian Priest match, man, they've had wrinkles consistently. Overall, aside from that spot, I thought it was a great match.
Good match. Yeah, great match. It was a great match.
Surprise.
It was a great match.
Drew I think cashes in, like we talked about. We already gave our thoughts on that. CM Punk was hiding under the ring all night. Dude sat under there for a men's Money in the Bank match and the whole John Cena promo and everything. This man hates Drew McIntyre to willing to sit under the ring for that long. And I thought they were. I thought it was. I mean, Michael Cole said, "Holy shit, that's CM Punk." I was like, Michael Cole, you watch your mouth,
right?
Punk started choking Drew out with the
with the
wire,
cable.
I
Yeah.
was like, "Whoa, dude, this is clearly not on
Then
USA Network or
right,
Fox, huh?"
Then hit him with the belt. Then
Yeah, those
I
two, man.
then
That
he
has
took
to
the
be a street fight at
Bad Blood.
no, at SummerSlam it needs to be a
Oh,
street fight.
SummerSlam.
At
Yeah, yeah,
Bad Blood, that's gonna be the cell match.
yeah,
And I'm a little worried about that, which maybe
yeah.
this is a tangent, but it is in Atlanta, Georgia, Cody Rhodes' hometown, and Cody
Uh-huh.
Rhodes is main eventing.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That'd
Drew
be a
should,
co-main event. That'd be a co-main event.
so we're gonna do Hell in a Cell and then move on to a world title
Yeah,
match. I mean, I guess you can. I mean, I'm not gonna be like I just
you can. I mean,
in my
it'd be
mind, the
weird
Hell in
though.
a Cell should close the show, but
But my thing is, I'm the type of person. Shoot, I have Cody started just to get the crowd hot. Since you're from Atlanta, Georgia, I have Cody start the pay-per-view up. But I mean, that's just me.
Cody,
I know. But I mean, Roman either start or
here's
or
what I'll
finish.
say: if it's Cody Orton as the main event, that can go on after a Hell in a Cell. That's a big enough match.
Right.
But if it's Cody solo, no way. But I don't think it will be. But we'll get to that in just a second. So Damian Priest wins. Him and Gunther set for SummerSlam. We have Punk and McIntyre set for SummerSlam.
Right.
What the fuck is Seth Rollins doing? Because when we did our predictions, that's why I said I'm picking Seth to win, because there were 3 matches. There was Balor Priest, there was Rollins Gunther, and there was Punk McIntyre, and that all made sense to me. Although I will say this, I thought about it as soon as it happened. I said, I guess that's how you shrink the card a little bit, huh?
Yep.
Because we went over that card and it was a little long. Now you're probably adding Seth to an IC title feud, because my guess is the only spot Seth can go from here is, well, fuck, I want to go for the IC title then, because I can't challenge for the World Heavyweight title.
And this is the sad thing about having really no interference the whole night, because the thing that me and you talked about when we talked about Punk. That. Yeah, we had that wasn't really interference. That was edged in stone. But remember, me and you talked about Balor coming because you Balor cost in.
Damian Priest told him
not
stay the fuck home, and he stayed the fuck home.
You better stay back there. Yeah, I got you, boss.
So, yeah, but he wouldn't say that to his face.
Yeah,
I got some beef with Finn Balor. He pussy for that. Finn Balor pussy for that, bro. Because he was like, of course. He was like, yeah, dude, no problem. And then he walks away, goes,
got you, boss. So one of my predictions, I was like, okay, well, since Balor gonna try to, he's gonna cost Seth the title because he's trying to, whatever he's gonna do. I was like, then we do. Seth versus Balor, but with no interference with Balor, I don't know what we do with Seth. I mean, I guess that's a good thing about what they just did by having Seth be mad at CM Punk again. So it's like now it puts another wrinkle into it, where it's like, okay, so now we're gonna do
that's the feud for Punk afterwards. I mean, that is the long-term booking of your Mania match. That'll be Mania.
And I don't think it's gonna be a triple threat match. Now, do I know what they're gonna do? Now here's what I think. Now this might be crazy, and which I don't think that's fair, but I just feel like, okay, cool. Never mind, he can't do it because he can't challenge for the world title no more. Never mind. Because I'm about to say, well, you just add him to triple. No,
I think it's gonna be Sammy, Braun, Seth, Sheamus, and maybe Ilya, and maybe Ludwig Kaiser. I mean,
6-pack
again. I know that it's a cluster, but how many matches could you have on this card?
Hey,
look, just rather them all. Like at a certain point, I don't want to come up here and be like, SummerSlam was 6.5 hours now.
Hey, listen, to be honest with you, they might as well not have him up there.
No, he's gonna be on the card.
I'm just saying he might not. Hey, crazy things happen in WWE. He might not be on the card. He might just be like, hey, this is a one-time thing to get eyes on it, go back home.
Nah, he's gonna be on the card.
Hey, he might be. I mean, I hope so, because he looked good today.
He came back from a torn MCL for them.
Yeah.
To lose.
Yeah.
You could have literally had anybody else in that spot. You could have had Jey Uso be that guy.
He looked really good for a person that tore his ACL and his MCL and his meniscus. He looked really freaking good today. He looked really good. Like he doing moves that he haven't done in years. That's how good he looked. 2 springboards, a springboard, what's it called? 2 suicide dives. He looked real
The
good.
only other alternative that I see is maybe there's a trade and we get AJ versus Seth at SummerSlam in a one-on-one match for
Yeah.
some kind of feud.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah. I mean,
But hey, got to tune into Raw to find out, right?
got to. Oh yeah. So yeah, Monday Night Raw gonna be because I mean, of course, Drew gonna be there. He's gonna be upset. Seth gonna come
I've
right
been waiting
behind
to
him.
see if Drew like destroyed the set. I don't know if
Yeah.
you
And
caught that.
he hit what you call me. I watched that. He hit Adam, and I don't know, maybe he can suspend it, but I do know for sure Monday Night Raw is gonna start off with either Drew or Seth. That's how
Yeah.
it's gonna start. I don't think it's gonna start with CM Punk. I don't think CM Punk is gonna start, but I know it's gonna
I
start
think
with
we're
those
gonna
two.
have to get Gunther back on TV too.
Yeah, he chilling. He ain't got no credit for
They
him.
let
Yeah,
him. Well, he didn't. I mean, King of the Ring. I'm gonna sit and wait.
I'm chilling. I mean, when last time he dropped some bars, what 2 weeks ago or last week, 2 weeks ago, he dropped
He
some
said it don't
bars.
matter
Like,
if it's you or you're
you
done.
done, and I was like, that's the best promo he did in a minute. That was some bars right there. He dropped that and kept it pushing. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, man. But once again, I think this was the best outcome for the match. I think Damian.
Yeah, you predicted it right.
Yeah, it's been because I just know, like I know WWE is not caring about what people say on the outside, but I just know the fact that Seth is not a transitional champion. That ain't him. Yes, he can do the job. Yes, he will do the job. He's WWE till he die. But I just know that Seth is too big of a babyface, too big of this company to be a transitional champion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just didn't see him winning this and then dropping it because well, I don't. If he did win it, then I could see him beating Gunther and then dropping it at Berlin, which is cool. But I still even him dropping it after winning, I just see like Damian.
I know what you mean. There was no story with him as the champion. It was just you keep it warm for this guy.
Yes.
And now probably the Judgment Day breakup is gonna be really, capitalized. My guess is at SummerSlam.
Yes.
Because my guess is where we go from here is Rhea comes back on Monday and Finn and JD and Dom and Carlito are like, get out of here, Liv. Yes. Because Rhea don't like her. Yes. And then they turn on Rhea and Priest same night. I mean, I think SummerSlam is the collapse of the Judgment Day.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. The women's Money in the Bank match.
Woo! Stole the show.
It might have been match of the night. Are you? Yeah. In the beginning, it was a little
start slow.
Start off, and there was a couple spots that
Zoe
didn't go as planned.
I'm glad she's okay though, because man, she hit her head on that joint real hard. You can hear that joint. Yeah,
that wasn't great. Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton are fucking over in Canada. Yes. They were both over. Io got a good reaction too. Zoe got no reaction.
None.
Naomi did good. I even thought Lyra got a pretty good reaction.
Yes, she did. The only person that didn't get no reaction was Zoe. Everybody was just quiet, which is sad, but it's okay though. Everybody else got, because I mean,
well, this is why everybody wanted Dakota Kai though.
Yes,
I guess right.
Because even when Lyra came out, everybody did that. Woo! Did it? Woo!
Yeah.
So like that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I like where they're going with Zoe and Sonya, and I think it's going to be something. I just don't think it is something yet. So
are they turning on
Shayna?
I
think Shayna's going to go off on her own. I think Triple H likes her. I think her and Zoe are going to have like a Monday Night Raw feud. It won't be on pay-per-view or nothing, but
I see.
And so I thought the MVP of the match was Io.
Of course.
As I watched the match, I just kept thinking, man, I want to see Io fight Tiffany. Man, I want to see Io fight, this person, that person, this person. And I was like, damn,
man, she's
so freaking good.
Yeah, she's so good. And the way that she controlled that match, like she looked like she, I know it's cliche, but she she'd been there before. Like the way she controlled the match, the spots that she did, the way that
it's so impressive to me too, because English isn't even like her first language, and she's out there running it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it just looked so fluent for her. Like she stood out a lot in that match because it was just like everything that she did was really good, and the spot she did and everything.
And who was that? She had that spot towards the end with what was it? Zoe?
Yeah, it was with Zoe. Yeah,
Dude, that was a brutal landing. So My roommate is a casual.
Yeah.
Like he'll watch like the pay-per-views with me,
Yeah.
and he's like on his phone some of the time, and this match had him put his phone down. He was hooked. And it's not just because the ladies are beautiful. We know that that's the case, but the
100%.
wrestling had him hooked. The spots had him hooked and had him grimacing. And that spot, he was like, "Oh my god!" And there was a couple in this match that had me like, these ladies, the back of their heads were bouncing off these ladders. Tiffany, the roll through cartwheel Alabama slammer that she did to Naomi, I was like, God damn, Naomi.
The
Like,
one with Lyra. Lyra hit her
I,
head on the back of that thing a couple of times.
oh, what was it? The core strength from Lyra,
That was
the
nice.
German suplex
That
to
was nice.
Io.
That was
I was
nice.
like, oh my
That
goodness.
was nice.
And then, I mean, the spot of the night, Chelsea Green off of the top of the ladder through 2 tables. Listen, I'm sure you had seen it beforehand. I saw on Twitter like the trending clip of her and Jordan Grace in TNA. I had not seen that before tonight. So I didn't know Chelsea had this in her bag.
Listen, if you know,
And
you know. Watch Lucha Underground. If you know, you know. She like
so
that.
here's what I'll say, because you've been kind of saying it for weeks here. They gotta let Chelsea off the leash when it comes to wrestling. Like, I didn't know she had this caliber in her bag. And that's why I was so pro Tiffany winning, because I
Yeah.
was like, Chelsea is a funny character, but like she's not doing nothing for me in the ring. And then the triple threat was like, okay, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really good, but
Yeah.
was that just like a flash in the pan? And then tonight I was like, okay, hold on, this is something. She's got something, because she's over and can put on a match. I want to see it more one-on-one, but I think Tiffany was the right call,
Right call.
obviously.
100% right call. Right call.
She was so over. Dude, and side note, the people who ask questions at the presser, we got to get some better questions, some
Oh
pre-written
yeah.
ones or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
because they asked Tiffany, the first question's like, what's your plan now that you have the briefcase? And she's like, well, I'm not going to tell you my plan, but I'm going to make the briefcase look nice. And she like kind of answered their question, but didn't in like a polite way of like, hey, kind of a stupid question. Like, what do you think? I'm just going to tell you the plan.
Then they ask her
And
again. Then they like 2 questions later. They ask her
then,
again.
so then somebody goes, would you be willing to cash in on Nia if she won the title?
Yeah.
Which like
Yeah.
is like definitely the storyline we're all thinking. But well, again, what do you expect her to say to that? Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next person goes, would you cash in on Liv Morgan? And Tiffany goes, well, I'm a SmackDown superstar, so
focus on
no.
Bayley. Yeah.
But if I was on Raw, maybe. And then they're like, okay, one more question. And they're like, how do you plan to cash in? And she's like, I'm not answering that question. I was just like that. And I was just like that. That was aggravating for me. I can only imagine what it was like for her
like
up there.
That's like the dude asked a question about Vince McMahon, and which is okay, like, but it's like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, I mean, of course, like, if you a journalist, you're supposed to get the like, but come on, man. Like, you Vince McMahon,
Here's what I'll say.
Influence you. I'm like, come on, dude.
Here's what I'll say. If John Cena had retired tonight, I would say that's an improper time to ask.
Yeah.
Since he just announced a retirement tour, I think it's a fine time to ask. I just think like you kind of like, I don't know what answer you expected.
Yeah.
Like John Cena's already been asked the question and already answered it.
So he asked it when he came back one of the times when it happened. I think
so that's when he gave like the real answer, and his real answer essentially was just like, you know, like I'm almost in disbelief, like what Vince has done for me, like I'll forever be grateful for, and people like kind of dragged him through the mud, which I was like,
yes,
I mean,
yes, I remember that.
I was like, guys, like whatever Vince McMahon is, in John Cena's mind, that guy gave him his life. So like it's gonna be hard for him not to be grateful for that, regardless of what happened. But that's off track. This match though was excellent. A lot of high flying spots. Tiffany, to me, is a top 5 wrestler on the roster, especially in the women's division. I really want to see her and Io in a feud eventually. We'll get there, but those two in a one-on-one match, I can't wait. they teased Tiffany and Trish
Trish.
Stratus.
Yep.
I would like that at SummerSlam.
That's gonna be real good. That
The
would be
card's
real
fucking
good.
loaded.
Yes, that would be real good. That would be a real good match.
And
because especially the last match that she just had,
you know,
Trish just had with Becky.
You know what's gonna be crazy? WWE's gonna have their Money in the Bank winner not lose every fucking match. She'll actually win some matches while she has that briefcase.
Exactly. And I just want to say this real quick before we go to the next thing. For those of the people out there that said that she buried because of that Instagram post, how y'all feeling now? How y'all feeling now? The people on Twitter that don't know nothing and just want to talk, she buried, she's in catering, 5-second segments.
Yeah. And I saw some of the reverse, like, oh, she gets away with that. Why? And I was like, I mean, like, Nia didn't have a problem with it.
She didn't say nothing 100% wrong. You know what I'm saying?
She's like a TikTok audio.
She's not racist. She's not none of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Bianca Jade came out there and said that they okay. Somebody asked Jade about it, and actually somebody asked Tiffany about it the other day. They interviewed her.
Yeah, which I was like, that's a crazy ask. Hey, are you racist? Like,
yeah.
What do you like? Even if she was, you expect her to be like, yes, I am. Like, there's a career ender.
It was, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, unless she wanted them to ask just to clear the air and trying to kill the rumors.
But it was already Bianca and Jade already cleared the rumors. They said they had no problem with her. She had no heat. They already said that. They said it multiple times. She had no heat in the back. So for the people to come out there on Twitter, which I just hate the IWC sometimes, you come out there and say she's buried. She's not. How is she buried? It takes time. It just takes time. Stuff got to develop. I don't think other people understand about things developing. You just can't put people out there and do like that. This shit ain't AEW, bro. You just don't put people out there and just hey here.
Yeah,
bro.
This is like what I'll say on it too. It's gonna sound cliche, but only one person can be champion at a time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Only one person could be the guy, the woman at a time on these shows.
Right.
So I think they're going in a good direction, and some things are more worth it when you have to wait for gratification.
Come on now. That's life lesson right there, man. That's life lesson, man.
This is the long-term booking that we preach about, though. Yes, Cody, man. Everybody was throwing a shitstorm when he lost at 39. You know how people are looking at 40 now when he won? As the greatest ending to a wrestling show ever. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you had to wait. Because you felt so gratified. So let some things breathe, guys. Listen, and here's what I'll say. Let's use our brains. Let's take a look at Tiffany. She has been she's been the best in NXT. She's already one of the best on the main roster. She's great on the mic. She has charisma. She has the look. Like, she's the total package. What do you think they're going to do? Not push her?
Come on, bro. And the thing about it is and when she win that title, she's gonna have that title for a long time. Not a long, but she's gonna have that title for going into WrestleMania 41.
Drew failing his cash in leads me to believe she is definitely going to be successful.
100%. And it kind of hinted at it already when EO walked in today, and it was like, last year she cashed in SummerSlam and had this that's gonna happen again. Because I mean that. Like I said,
I don't know. I think we're gonna wait past SummerSlam. I do.
You think so? You think Bayley gonna win then?
I think Nia's gonna win, and I think it's gonna be just kind of you see Tiffany with her, and Tiffany is kind of very clearly waiting for her moment that maybe Nia's down because Nia's gonna be up at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And that's not the time to cash in. Like you know what I mean. We'll see if not.
It's been a minute since Nia had a championship, so.
I think they want to give her a run.
Yeah, she's been so good. So her second time stint here, it's been great. So I think that I'm not mad at. I mean, I love Bayley. Bayley got my heart. That's my wife. But I'm not mad at her losing that title, dropping that title, and just doing something else. I think Bayley had her moment.
I'm also not mad at her winning. I just don't think she's going to. WWE's in a really great spot right now where there's plenty of times they could have either person win, and I'm cool with it.
Man, WWE's so hot right now. It's so hard to book matches, man. There's so many good talent on this roster. It's probably one of the most stacked rosters they had.
It's like one of the toughest things to do because it's like nobody could afford a loss because they're all so good. And it's like, people got to lose. That's like kind of back to the Braun Breaker thing. It's like, Did I want him to lose clean? No, but like Sammy is really good. Like, I'm not mad at it.
And
It's
that's
not, and
that's
this isn't
wrestling
like when
though,
Karrion
man.
Kross debuted on Raw as NXT champion and Jeff Hardy beat him in
Beat
3
him, yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it wasn't that. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
And the thing about it is wrestling though. Like people gonna lose. Like it just that's why you put the best product out there, the two best people in fight, and she was the best.
Yeah.
It is and think about it. And for me, I'm glad I don't got the pin because for right now, Triple H it sucks right now to book people right now. I know
Oh,
it
I think it's
sucks.
the opposite. I bet it's so fun. I
It's so
bet
fun.
I
I think it
I mean,
sucks.
he's got so many toys in that like there right now, and I don't think
Yeah.
he's one for really caring what people think.
Nah,
But
he don't.
and we'll talk about the tag match in just a second, but when you look at this roster right now, let's go down Monday Night Raw, world champion Damian Priest. I think it's about to be Gunther.
Yes.
IC champion, you have Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker right there. The tag champs, Finn Balor and JD, the Judgment Day, great. Liv Morgan, world champion there. And then on SmackDown, you have Cody as champion. You have Logan Paul as champion, probably about to be LA Knight. You have DIY who just won the titles. You have
Congrats.
Bailey. You have Tiffany with the briefcase. Like the top talent has risen to the top, guys. The top talent has the belts,
Yes. Yes.
and I'm pretty happy with that. Let's
Yes.
jump into this tag match though.
Yes.
So I said before, and I'll say it again. I did think it was odd that this main evented when nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
And for the whole Money in the Bank prediction show, me and you were talking about interference here, interference there. The only thing that happened was CM Punk, which,
Yes.
like you said, that shit was in stone. We knew
Yeah.
that one was happening.
Yeah.
But no Jimmy Uso, no Roman Reigns, no Logan Paul, no
Hikuleo.
Wyatts, no
Hikuleo.
yeah,
Hikuleo.
no Tongans attacking Jey Uso in his match.
Yep.
Nothing in the women's Money in the Bank match.
Nothing.
No interference in Sammy Braun setting up a multi-man match. So
Nope.
no interference in this match. I thought the Bloodline needed to win.
Yes.
Them cheating to win, I guess, protect Cody, protect your champion. I don't hate it. Jacob Fatu, an absolute dog in this match. Tonga Loa, or excuse me, Tama Tonga, like this is gonna be so. He reminds me of like a rabid Chihuahua when he's next to Solo
Yeah.
and Jacob, because he's so little, but he's so like feisty out there.
Yes. Yes.
I thought it was a good match. I thought it was well paced. I thought there was a lot of good spots in the match. I thought, Fatu showing off with the athleticism, with the whisper in the wind. I saw you said it was better than Jeff Hardy. You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth with that take.
I just want interaction. That's all.
I thought Randy, when he hit the spike DDT on him and he got right up, that was cool.
That was badass.
Badass spot. Randy with the RKOs. They tried to go for like the triple power bomb. Ultimately, Solo wins, and there you go. Cody Solo SummerSlam confirmed.
SummerSlam confirmed.
What did you think of the match?
I think the match started off with like a just Kevin Owens with such a passion, and just he started off the match real good. I think I like the pace. Like I think, like you said, usually 6-man matches don't end PLEs or any type of shows really. So that being the end of the show was pretty good.
They opened Clash.
Yes. Oh, they did. Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. They
right?
did.
Cody. Well, Cody opened Clash. They opened Backlash.
They opened Backlash. Yeah. That was a great match. So I just think, it was a slow pace, grind it out. I just, man, that dude Jacob Fatu, man,
gonna be a star.
He's a beast.
Gonna be a star.
He didn't show everything. He didn't show everything that he can do, but just by that whisper and wind,
he didn't have no springboards, and he could springboard.
That whisper in the wind, that just showed me. I said, "Hey, put the belt on him now."
I didn't go that far. You know what I think has been great? When WrestleMania ended, Roman took his hiatus, and Solo started taking over the Bloodline. Everybody was like, "Dollar store Roman Reigns. This shit stinks. We have Roman Reigns at home, etc."
Yeah.
And we're 3 months later, and he's the biggest heel in the fucking company. He is the most hated man in the company. The heel heat he has, and he plays it well, man. the way he drew out the beginning of that tag match where he's like, "You want me, Cody?" Comes in, walks around, fuck you, tags out. The way he makes them put like the lay on him at the end, just the little interview where I forget who it was, asked him a question, and they were like, "What did Jacob Fatu mean to the group tonight?" And he goes, "I think you should just acknowledge me," and takes the
And walked off.
headset.
Yep.
And I was like,
Man,
damn, I was like, and you know what? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Solo gets a big win, pins Cody Rhodes, and the first thing you ask him is about somebody else. Fuck you, I'm out of here.
man, I agree because when he first was by himself, and then the stuff happened when we introduced Tamatonga and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know where we going with this. You know what I'm saying? Solo Sikoa. You know what I'm saying?
It felt kind of mid. It felt kind of mid card.
I feel a little bit like he ain't getting heat. He ain't getting no heat, no reaction. Like the beginning. But like how you said, now we're hearing people saying, fuck you, Solo, fuck you, Solo. Like now it went from we want Roman, but it's going from we want Roman to now fuck you, Solo.
And at SummerSlam, man.
Hey, when you
I hope that Jimmy Uso doesn't come back until SummerSlam.
So when I seen that today that he got I seen something that he was advertised for this week.
SmackDown.
This week's SmackDown.
I guess what we could do is, and it's gonna feel very repetitive, which is why I'm not sure if we will. Could we do Jimmy comes back on SmackDown and like saves Orton, Owens, or Cody from a beatdown, and it's Cody versus Solo, and then Randy, KO, and Jimmy versus Fatu and the Tongans.
Yes, I see that happening before SummerSlam, though.
You think that's like the SmackDown main event? Okay,
before SummerSlam.
I like that. I don't think it should be on the card. I think maybe some interference where I think what we could do is get some form of interference of Solo's guys, the Tongans, and Jacob Fatu brawling with Jimmy, Randy, and Kevin Owens, and then it leaves it as just Cody and Solo in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's a main event SummerSlam, and then Cody gets the win, and then Roman comes out, walks past Cody, and it's just the three of them in the ring. And we just get a Roman Solo.
So here's my question, because I know last podcast I said something about Solo winning, and he's like, "Nah, I don't think so." So how do we get Roman to SummerSlam? Like, how do we get? I think
Cody wins, and Solo's kind of just sitting in the corner, and then we just hear the music, and there's kind of a moment of, is he here for Cody? Is he here for Solo? And he looks at Cody, looks at the belt, and then turns and just Superman punch Solo.
Okay.
And like it's kind of like, I still got my eye on you and my title, but I gotta get back control of this fucking family first.
Because my thing is like, holy fuck, how the timeline would be if Solo beats Cody on SummerSlam, man. Holy fuck.
Again, my only issue with that is, then what for Cody?
Rock
at Bash at Berlin? Rock at Bad Blood? Like, no. Like, where does he go from there? Are we having triple threat matches? It just,
I don't know.
I think doesn't make sense to me.
I think where we go from. That's what I'm saying.
The War Games match has to be OG Bloodline.
100%. I just, it's just fascinating because I just wonder how we gonna get there. That's my main thing. Me trying to think so much outside the box is how we gonna get there. How we gonna get to the OG Bloodline first? How we gonna get Sammy there? How we gonna get Jay there? How we gonna get all that to happen? To
the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah, I mean, I like a small part.
We got like 4 months.
Yeah, small. Yeah, we do. A small part of me, like 5% of me, just wants Solo to win. Fuck the timeline up. See what the fuck is gonna go on with that shit. This is a small part of me wants Solo to win, man. Look how great would that be if Solo beats Cody in the middle of that ring, 1, 2, 3. He got the on him now. Roman comes out. That would be great.
I'm not gonna lie.
Come on now, come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan.
I said I don't complain. I'd come up here and complain. So here's my thing with that. because I almost think it devalues Cody's win at Mania. Then,
Yeah,
so
right.
Cody, you won at Mania, and
Way to
now
bring me back in. Way to bring me back, man.
now 4 months later, you're losing a Roman side bitch. Like you're losing to the Enforcer. Like come
Yeah,
on
nah.
now.
Way to reel me back in. Way to reel me back in. Yeah, now Cody
I
won.
get what you're saying. I just
Yeah.
also Roman Solo doesn't need the title.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And then I think we get Randy turning on Cody, and that takes us through the fall.
Low key,
Because I don't think we're getting Randy Cody at Mania anymore. It's Randy Cena.
No, it's Randy Cena for sure. 100%.
So now we're gonna need to have Randy turn on Cody,
and do it with Bad Blood.
Yeah, I think
Survivor
so.
Series.
I think they like just Bad Blood Survivor Series take us through the winner.
I think that'd be nice. I think that'd
and
be
then
nice. Yeah.
Maybe at Royal Rumble as like the captain.
So that's why we said about Seth. So we say what we do with Seth. So what we do with Kevin Owens.
Jacob
Fatu?
No, well, I brought up the triple threat already.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think you do. I think you do Cody Randy at Berlin, or you do Cody Owens. I think you do Cody Owens. Owens wins. Randy gets jealous, like that. Owens gets the match and not him.
Yeah.
Then you get Randy Cody at Bad Blood main eventing in Atlanta, and then you get the triple threat match at Survivor Series, and maybe just one more Randy Cody for the Rumble.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Just to get some, because I mean, once again, I don't
know who Cody faces at Mania anymore. Because Punk and Rollins if you do Randy and John, and Rock Roman, you're kind of out of options. You're kind of out of options for Cody.
Do you think? Okay, so how about this? Do you think they won't do Rock Roman at WrestleMania instead of doing? I mean, this might not sound a great match.
You're saving Solo Roman all the way for then?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
I mean, I wouldn't either. But I'm just saying because I know earlier reports were saying like how, they didn't really have no plan for Cody until Rock come back. So I guess Rock is still, because that's the whole thing about it. If Rock didn't get injured, I think it would have been Rock and Cody at SummerSlam, in my opinion, because I don't think that's
I don't know if we were ever going there.
Yeah,
but I would have liked it.
Yeah.
But Rock wants that title, so
he wants that title, and
and again, you have to have Cody fight somebody. It almost makes me think that maybe Cena's not fighting Orton at Mania.
Who the fuck will he fight then?
I just feel like it's way easier to throw somebody else in there with him than throw somebody else in with Cody for the title.
I'm trying to think of somebody. I mean, unless we do AJ.
Yeah, you could.
You could do AJ. You could do AJ. I mean, that's one of his great rivals. So you could do AJ. I wouldn't hate AJ just so you can have Rock. I mean,
but you could also do a Braun Breaker.
Yes, you can.
You could just do an up and coming name as well. That's like the beauty of something like this.
Or I mean, maybe Crazy or Sheamus. I mean, I'm just thinking his rivals, people that he had rivalries with. So you could do a Sheamus. Sheamus is,
I just think right now when you pencil in Cody's Mania opponent, maybe it still is Orton.
Yeah, I think so too. Because they've been teasing a lot. So it's going to happen. They've been teasing a lot.
I just can't see who else it would be unless we're not doing Rollins Punk. And that
we doing Rollins Park. I mean Punk. We doing Rollins Park 100%.
I mean, I wouldn't hate a triple threat if we somehow got there.
I mean, I won't either.
But
I wouldn't hate anything.
Those two guys are on Raw.
I mean, because we do got two. Yeah.
But I don't know. I could see a lot of brand switcheroo shit happening on the way to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm gonna say the draft should be. Oh, that's not the WrestleMania. Never mind. Yeah,
it'll be after, but with Netflix and stuff, you think Roman's not going to be on Netflix?
Roman ain't drafted. Didn't get drafted, so he could be a Raw.
Solo got drafted. So
you're right. Actually, I lied. Roman is on SmackDown, but yeah, I think so too.
He didn't get drafted. You're right. So they could move him around, but I think maybe we see some trades.
Yeah, you do.
Or maybe the final boss, The Rock, just comes in and puts whoever he wants wherever the fuck he wants because he's the 10.
So just us yapping because we pretty much done with the review. How do we get Jay to SmackDown?
A trade. AJ.
A trade. Okay.
I think AJ for Jay.
That's the only person. I mean that's the only person. Oh, Sammy.
Sammy's on Raw.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean,
Oh,
how do
I
we
mean,
get
you
those
could
two?
just swap Sammy and LA Knight when LA Knight wins the title.
Okay. Okay.
But if Sammy's not the
Because
champion, you could swap him with like Logan Paul. Like Raw would want Logan Paul for
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
doesn't hurt.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, because it gotta be a way where we get it gotta be a way where we get to that to where because I mean we once Roman come back
I
now we're
here's
going
my
now
thing.
once he comes back we're
I
going.
just don't know if we're set up for that or if it's like because Jimmy didn't get drafted either, right?
No, he did. He got drafted because he was part of the bloodline at the time before he got kicked out. So he got
Okay,
drafted to
so
SmackDown.
I just think it's more likely that we see those guys get traded to Raw and we get guys go to SmackDown from Raw.
Okay.
Well, like I think like it's more likely that we see Solo and that whole crew move to Raw because that's where The Rock's going to want to be for Netflix. And if that's
Mm-hmm.
like where we're building that, that'll be there. And then I think that's potentially how you get Seth to SmackDown to feud with Cody, or Punk to SmackDown to feud with Cody.
I was about to say, do we just trade Gunther and Cody for Netflix?
I think Cody's going to stay on SmackDown.
Okay.
And let me explain because I think what Raw is going to be is edgier, and Cody's not edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cody bleeds on the pay-per-views, but Cody's character doesn't need to be edgy to have you invested. The
Yeah.
Rock is edgy. CM Punk is edgy. I think
Yeah.
like you're going to want those guys
On Raw on Netflix.
Raw
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yes.
Whereas I think you're fine with Cody on SmackDown. I think you're fine with Seth on SmackDown. And that's why I said like I think we could be in line. Here's one for you. Do we do Cody Seth at Mania?
Mm-hmm.
And do we do Punk Cena? I mean, maybe. That still leaves Orton out in the dust, but because you got to run Punk Cena at some point.
You do have to do Punk Cena at some point. Do we do Punk? See, booking Cena is tough because Cena retired at a bad time.
Well, that's why they're giving all this time to figure it out, which I'm cool with. It's just for me, I think everybody wants to see Cena Orton. They've never had one-on-one at Mania, but then it's like, what do you do with like Punk, Seth, and Cody? Almost should be a triple threat. Otherwise, one of them is going to be an odd man out.
Okay, yeah.
But then you have to trade Punk to SmackDown,
so
or you have to move Cody to Raw.
So, do you think we ever circle back on Roman Cody again, or that's gonna have to wait?
Man, I mean, I think that is going to be.
I feel like this bloodline stuff. I feel like this bloodline stuff is going to take a.
I think we're years away from that.
Okay,
but I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to predict these rosters in a couple of years.
Yeah,
I don't know. Here's what I'll say: they got plenty of room to cook. SummerSlam has some good matches now.
SummerSlam about to be a banger.
Solo Cody in main events. Roman returns. We have Priest Gunther, kind of inauguration potentially of Gunther again. You know, we have Bailey Nia, Liv Rhea. Looks like that's pretty promising on the horizon. I think a multi-man match for the IC title that could feature Seth, could feature Breakers, Sammy, could be a match of the night candidate. I think we're in for a good show. I think what comes after SummerSlam is when things kick into the next gear.
So let me ask you a question for that SummerSlam match. We got Gunther winning clean or interference?
I think there has to be some form of interference, and not that Gunther cheated, but I think in some way Priest has to get screwed by Balor out of the title. Okay. I think when he loses the title, it has to be because of Balor.
Okay.
I think that's like we have to get there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was asking that because usually Gunther matches are clean. He usually don't have a lot of interference, so that would probably be a
I don't think it's like anything on. I mean, maybe it's clean, and then just afterwards, the Judgment Day exiles him and beats the shit out of Priest for losing.
Think about it. I see that happening, though. I see, that happening. Like I said, once again, I see Priest losing, and I also see Rhea losing. I see Rhea losing too.
I could see Rhea losing because JD, Dom, and Finn cost her. They're in the back, and Priest is like, "What the hell? Like, you guys need to like apologize, whatever. I got a match to go prepare for." And then they just beat him up after his match, and they're like, "You're out the Judgment Day too."
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that 100%. I can see them, both of them losing, and both of them be out the Judgment Day by the end of the night.
Yeah, for
And then,
sure.
yep. Yeah, I
But
can see that.
we just yapped for about 20 minutes about a whole lot of not money in the bank. So if you are still here, appreciate you. Let us know your thoughts to everything in the comment section. We appreciate you.
Real quick though, before you go, what you out of 5? What you get the Money in the Bank tonight?
Out of 5, 3.5.
I'm right with you. 3.5. 3.5
I
for
thought
me.
I thought it was solid.
Yeah, 3.5
Thought
for
it
me.
was good.
Yeah, me too.
But
I thought.
leave your ratings out of 5 in the comment section as well. Let us know. Leave a like,
Yep.
subscribe to the channel. We are growing at a pretty solid pace. So
Yes, we are.
I'm happy about that. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.
So.